Hi, everybody. Happy Mother's Day. I'm here 3 minutes early because I see there are lots of questions already in the feed. Hope everybody's had a really good day, and I'm going to get started. I'm going to be here for an hour, and we'll just go down the list and um, do as many as I can. If I think that I can't answer your question, I'll skip it. If I think that your question needs to be rephrased in a way that the cards can give a good answer, then I'll try to rephrase for you. All right. So my gift to you. Okay, so starting at the top here. This is from Love Nature Oz. My relationship has had many ups and downs over the years, and I'd like to know if we're heading in the right direction or if there still are bumpy times ahead. Listen, if it's a relationship with another human being, bumps are inevitable, correct? But I will look and see what the trajectory looks like. I said I was going to do 3 card readings. Sometimes there'll be 3, sometimes there'll be 5, but let's see what we get for this question. Okay. Okay, so I decided to pull 5, and we have the moon, the scythe, the man, the garden, and the stork. So what I will say is, I'm gathering this is a relationship of some duration. So the fact that you know each other better could really help know what buttons not to push with each other, because I can mirror it with the last card. The stork does imply things will get better. Now, the second card is the scythe, and I feel like it's about deciding whether things will get better or not. Um, nobody can have their way all the time. So sometimes it's a question of deciding whether to fight the battle or not, or whether it's a battle that you can let go. Also, I'm going to say that this is the partner, but I'm going to say with the garden and the scythe, don't let the relationship be, where you spend the sum total of your time. There are other people out there in the world that you can communicate with and have relationships with, friendships with. And so don't put all your eggs, I would say, in this relationship basket, meaning that no one relationship can fulfill all of your needs or the other person's needs. So it's saying sort of get out, do stuff, meet other people, but it does imply that you know each other well enough that should you make the decision, things will get better. So, there's no such thing as a bump-free relationship. But fewer bumps, yes, I think you'll have fewer bumps. Okay. Oh, you're welcome. Happy to be here. Happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers out there. Okay, Sylvia. Oh, I forgot to turn off that. Hold on, I'm going to just turn this mail off so that we don't have to listen to that dinging the whole time. Okay. Sylvia, will my half-brother ever tell me that I was in our mother's will? Well, I feel like, shouldn't there be a way for you to find that out without relying on your half-brother to tell you? There should be a lawyer involved. Why wouldn't you just ask the lawyer? But I will look to see whether your half-brother will tell you. So for a half-brother, the card that I'm going to use, I'm going to look for him in here. And it's the dog. And we will see if he will tell you. Again, there are other ways to find this information out instead of leaving it to him, but okay. So I'm looking for the dog that will stand for your half brother. Deep in the deck, which is probably why I won't be doing this particular method of looking for a signifier for many of your questions. It takes too long. That's your half brother. Okay. So we have the scales, we have the scythe, we have your half brother, we have Clover, and we have the key. In fact, I think he will tell you. I think he'll tell you because I think he has to tell you. Because this is my scales card is the card for, all things legal, among other things. That's one of the card's meanings. All things legal. So he will be required to tell you if you are in the will. If you're not in the will, he will not be required to tell you. So it's that simple. So the law makes the decision about this. If you are in the will, you will be apprised of it. And I know that because we have Clover and Key, and these are yes cards. Again, he's not the only source of that information. Okay. Okay, here is Barclay Todd. What do the cards say is the likely outcome, both financially and professionally, of my pursuing legal action against my current employer for unpaid wages? Okay, so the point is that you have taken legal action against your former employer, your current employer, for unpaid wages. I'm putting reading glasses on so I can see these questions better. Okay, how will this court case go? All right. I don't think well. We have the snake, we have the crossroads, and we have the mountain. I mean, they will find some way to get out of it, out of having to pay you. The snake is a problem, and the mountain is delay. So I do not think that will go very well. I hate to say. Now, again, this is just a moment in time, but that doesn't look good. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, this is from Mama Bear. Will my parents' estate wrap up soon? As personal representative, I sure hope so. Thank you. Soon is relative, obviously, but let's look. Will this estate wrap up soon? Okay. We have the letter, we have the coffin, and we have the mice. I feel like there are complications here that are keeping it from being wrapped up quickly. The mice, it's backwards when I look at the screen. Mice is not a wonderful card, so there may be some issues, but I'm going to pull 2 more cards just to see, which will put the mice in the middle. Yeah, so we have the letter, the coffin, the mice, and then we have the birds and the bear. I feel like this is complicated. So I don't see it winding up soon. They're, this is about meetings that still need to be held. This refers to, I don't know, I feel like someone holding things up. It doesn't look like it's one of those clean estate settling situations. So I think put your seatbelt on and bring snacks because you're going to have to be there for the duration. Robert, I'm not going to do your question because it's too broad. What is something that we as a collective have to know right now? What we need to know is infinite. So if you want to narrow your question down, I will. I'll try to answer it at a different point. Nancy, what can I do to improve my gut health? Let's see what the cards have to say. Well, I pulled 5. What strikes me again is the fact that we have the scales card first, and that speaks to balance. Anytime we ingest things in a way that is unbalanced, or that we ingest unbalanced things, our system's going to get screwed up. But this says balance will improve the situation. And the moon is about knowing yourself, knowing what your triggers are, knowing when you leap before you look, really sort of listening to the signals that your body gives you is important. Now, we have the fox and we have the child. And, a fox is an expert. And then child, I think these are issues that started in childhood. Someone can help you untangle those, I think, help you figure out the balance. So I hope that's helpful. I don't think a nutritionist, but somebody who can get to the root of these childhood issues that affect your gut. Okay. Okay, this is from Jen Lily Rare Orchid. Happy Mother's Day. Okay, the question, okay, I have to reinterpret the question because there's words missing. I think it's asking me, do I foresee utility costs stabilizing in the near future? PG&E is a monopoly here where I am. I'm going to say, why would you think utility costs would stabilize when there is a blockade in the Strait of Hormuz and when we have you-know-who doing you-know-what in the White House? Why in the world would you think utility costs will stabilize? I don't think they will, but I'm not the cards. Let me look and see what the cards have to say. Will utility costs stabilize? Right, so they agree with me. We have the tower, we have the moon, we have clouds. You're right. I mean, a lot of utility companies are monopolies, and the government allows them to be monopolies. So there you go. The moon, I mean, this is who we are as a country. We are a capitalist system. The rich people get the spoils, and everybody else, too bad. So will the utilities become less monopolized and will costs go down? Doubtful. I mean, certainly not in the next couple of years. And that's why you have to vote like your wallet depends on it, because it does. Your wallet and your life. So I don't see any relief in the foreseeable future for utility prices anywhere. And I'll tell you, I'm in Southern California, and we have some of the highest utility costs in the country. It's terrible. So I feel your pain. I don't want you to think I'm being, a smart aleck or anything. I just think that people voted in who they voted in, and what is the expression? If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. And we know what we've got in the White House. So utility prices now, they will not ease up anytime soon. Hi, Aaron, the stylist. Okay, Robin Witt. Will I move into a nicer place to call home in Birch Bay by February of 2027? Okay, so we're talking about this February. Why don't I look for a move for you? And I'm going to use the ship. I'm going to look for the ship in the deck. Okay, so this is the move. Okay, so we have clover, we have fish, we have ship, and that stands for the move, clouds again, but followed by the key. So what I want to say to you is, I think so. I think you've been saving your money. I think that's smart. I think you also have your eyes open and you're looking for something to pop up. That's what clover is. And I think that's also smart. But I think a couple of things. Really keep saving the money, because you might find the perfect place, but the money will be the prohibiting factor, the thing that makes it tough. That said, you've just had this reading. So forewarned is forearmed, telling you save even more than you've been saving, because if you do, here we have clover, that's lucky, and we have the key, which is a yes card. So I do think that by February, you will find the perfect place. The question is just going to be, can you afford it? So if you put those ducks in a row, then yes, I think by February of 2027, you will be in a place where you're happier. Okay. Cutie Pie 22, thank you for the happy Mother's Day wishes. Michelle Wolf. Is coaching women through fasting for spiritual and creative growth my path to more than enough income? Okay, so you want to embark on a career or, a path of coaching women to fast, which is to refrain from food, or obviously, for spiritual and creative growth purposes. Is that your path to more than enough income? More than enough income? I don't know. We'll see. So the card for fasting, believe it or not, is the mice. Because I know mice nibble away at things, but they nibble away at things, right? So it's taking in less. So mice is going to be the card that I'm going to look for. And the question is, will this bring you a boatload of money? You can tell by my face what I think, but you're not asking me what I think. You're asking the cards. So let's see. Sometimes the cards can surprise us. So we're looking for the mice that will stand for the fasting coaching practice that you want to embark on. Okay, so here the mice stand for this fasting business. So we have the garden, clover, mice, letter, and house. I mean, these are not bad cards. I will suggest that I hope you're keeping abreast of all the news that is out there about the whole wellness industry. It's being met with a lot of skepticism of late, and assuming that you have the right credentials, because you have to have credentials. That's what people are going to be looking for. Then you could certainly find yourself a home in this industry. There will be takers, there will be buyers, there will be people who will be interested in this. We have clover here, so that's also good. But I think the trick is to make sure that you are in some way credentialed, and that if you are, you want to have some sort of umbrella, maybe organization that you're working under. I feel like that's important. Will you make more than enough income? The cards are not indicating that, but they are indicating you would make an income. Okay. Sandy Robertson, thank you for the Mother's Day wishes. Will I be able to afford another motorhome to replace my old one? Okay, let's see. All right. I'm just going to pull cards. I'm not going to look for a significator. Spirit knows what we're asking. Will you be able to afford to replace your motorhome? Okay. So we have the Tower, we have the Bear, and we have the Child. I think yes, but I think it will be smaller than what you currently have. And may require a bank loan. I feel like these feel very like bankerish type cards to me. But something smaller, or a small loan that subsidizes the rest of the money that you may have already to put towards this. But I do think, yes, I think you will be able to get a new motorhome. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is from Jennifer Soto. I live in Ecuador, and there's a fear of a financial collapse soon. There's no guarantees about recouping losses. So is it wise to pull my cash and hold on to it? I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a lawyer. So please bear that in mind. I would advise you to get advice about this from somebody who knows what they're talking about. However, what I can do is look to see whether there will be this financial collapse in Ecuador anytime soon. So we're looking at financial collapse imminent in Ecuador. Okay, so we have scales, clover again. These two cards are getting quite the workout today. The dog, the anchor, and the tower. Now, I will say that the card that pops out at me as I answer this question is the dog. And this is the card for a financial advisor. You need to get advice from a financial advisor. That said, I actually think that things will stabilize. Here's the card for that. that the banks will stabilize, that the government will be able to stabilize the banks some kind of way. Clover is sort of lucky, and then this is stability. Nevertheless, I would get advice. I would get advice from a financial advisor. Okay. All right, let's see. Now, okay, well, all right. I don't love these kind of questions because there's so many people here who have really serious, specific questions. That's why I come on. I'm not doing it because I don't have anything else to do today. So when I get questions that are really sort of vague, I'm like, But I do know this person, Mary Dean Carter. So I'm going to answer your question. And it is, what do I need to know right now? I mean, infinite numbers of things you could stand to learn to know right now. So I don't like those kinds of questions, but I will answer that for you. I'll see what I can get. What do I need to know right now? So we have the bouquet, the book, and the garden. And it seems to be, cards seem to be saying that you have gifts to offer that you're not even aware of, that the collective could benefit from. So I guess it's just figuring out what those gifts are. You have gifts that you're not even aware of. Like, I don't know, let's say, this is this really dumb example, really dumb, but it'll make the point. So a lot of times people say that they watch my videos because my voice, they like my voice, which is hysterical. But I mean, if my voice helps people, then that's great. That's a gift that I can use. I had no idea that people would like my voice. I don't particularly like it at all. But there are unknown gifts that you have that you could use to benefit more than just your own, yourself or your family. This is about putting those gifts out into the world. So it's for you to figure out what those gifts are. That's a nice message, I think. Again, here's one. I'm not going to do it. May I have 3 cards for my family? No, because there's no question attached. Remember that as much as I am a reader, I'm a teacher. And what I like to do is to help you learn how to ask good questions so that you can be in dialogue with the cards, which is to say, in dialogue with the universe. So I'm trying to teach you at the same time I'm reading for you, right? So to say, could I have 3 cards for my family? No, I don't know what that means. Like, what is your specific concern? Come back and put that in the feed. Rev Maggie is asking me, will my anxiety calm down soon? I mean, we are all feeling anxiety, just so you know, Rev Maggie. We are all anxious. And what does soon mean? I think a better question, here I am in teacher mode, is what can I do to alleviate my anxiety? Let's try that. What can I do to alleviate my anxiety? This is for Rev Maggie. What can I do to alleviate my anxiety? Really lovely cards. So we have the ring, the scales, and the key. And you might roll your eyes when you hear what I'm going to say, but I think that they are suggesting that you commit yourself to a practice, whether it's a meditation practice, whether it's a yoga practice, whether you get a set of cards and learn the system and work with them. So whether you draw, whether you paint, whether you sing, commit yourself to a practice um, that you do to sort of balance yourself, to steady yourself, and that will be the answer that you're looking for. Could be more than one practice. Maybe the practice is to take a bubble bath every night. Maybe the practice is to go for a walk every morning, but it's to commit to the practice. Maybe you take up knitting. It's something that you do that you commit to on the regular that will sort of help you come back to yourself. And the key says, yes, that's right. That's what will help. Okay. Cutie Pie 22 is asking, why are my female supervisors so blunt, cold, and dismissive of me, despite me going above and beyond in my profession? Well, you know what? They say that, they've taken polls of women and they've asked women, if you could have a male boss or a female boss, which would you prefer? And interestingly, women say they prefer a male boss. I don't know whether you've got, queen bee syndrome going on. Sometimes women, if they feel threatened by somebody who is, an up and comer and going above and beyond, as you're saying, I don't know. Let's look though. Why are your female supervisors so blunt, cold, and dismissive? All right. Yeah, I feel like it just feels like they're threatened a little bit. So we have the ship, we have the older man, we have the bear, the snake, and the tree. I think it's kind of what I said, that they're worried about you moving up, moving ahead, passing them, maybe catching the eye of someone in the operation, in the company or whatever, who is a male and who is impressed by you and they feel threatened by that. Here we have this bear. It's bullying behavior. That's what it is. They're bullying you. Again, they're bullying you. And these may be people who've been there a long time and they feel like you threaten their position. That's the reason. Now another question you could ask is, what do you do about it? Well, a snake is a snake is a snake, and a bear is a bear is a bear. There are bullies everywhere. And so that's a different question. But I think what I want to say to you is that you're not imagining it. They are that way. I think they feel threatened probably by your competence. So, okay. Okay. Anna Wright is asking, how does China feel about Trump? So I looked at this either the last time I read or the time before that, because he's going to China, supposedly, towards the end of the week for like 3 or 4 days. That is an arduous trip for anyone, particularly an older man who's got venous insufficiency, plus whatever else he's got. He is going because nobody likes him anywhere, including Saudi Arabia, his bosom buddy, best friends. And he needs to feel like he has a win. The Chinese are not stupid. So they could make him feel like he's a king the whole time, laughing at him behind his back. I think that the Chinese feel what everybody else feels about him. And I don't think I need to elaborate on that, but let's look. How does China feel about Trump? We have the ring, the fish, and the star. I think they think he's hanging himself. They're thinking about money and they're thinking about the future. You know, there was a period where it looked like China was on the downslide. That has changed, particularly with the fact that we have now, you know, been lowered in the eyes of the world, thanks to you know who. So China is, and there are a lot of countries now that are dealing with China because of the embargo, the Strait of Hormuz closing. So they think that he is hanging himself. They're happy to observe that. They're happy to watch, and then they're happy to count their money. Now, are they going to say any of that to him? No. They'll grin in his face, shake his hand, and he'll come back thinking that they love him, but they don't. They don't. Okay, let's see. Okay, here we go. Thank you for all of the greetings. Gretchen Ivy. I want to start house flipping. I'm using the money left to me by my parents to get started. I've put an offer in on a house. Will the offer go through and will I be successful on this first project? Okay, got it. Okay. How will you do with this first house flipping project? So we have the young woman, the ring, the young man, the fish, and the stork. I'll tell you, I think you're actually going to do very well. You know, this is you being really committed to doing this. And this card is not an actual person. This is your energy around it. You're like, this is what I've always wanted to do. It's my now or never chance. So nobody's going to tell me no. I love the energy behind this. And then fish is money. Stork, positive change. I think this first flip will be very successful. So congratulations in advance. That's really exciting for you. Okay. All right. Principal Rose is asking for a message from your grandmother for guidance. So there is a card for mother, for grandmother, and I'll use that card as the focus card. I'm assuming, obviously, that your grandmother is in spirit. So this is a way that I do mediumship through the cards. So I'm going to look for the bear because that is the card for the mother or the grandmother. In this case, we are looking to see if your grandmother will come in with a message of guidance for you. Remember, we're looking for the bear. Okay, so we have the young woman, we have the sun, we have the bear, we have the bouquet, and we have the tree. It's a very nice message, I think. It's very, it's lovely. It's, I feel like this is you. She wants you to be happy. Here she is in the center. She wants you also to remember your gifts, to not think that you don't have them, to really use your gifts. And she wants you to remember who you are and who you come from, because this is the card for the ancestors. And you know what we say, that we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors. And you are, I mean, that is what you're meant to do as well. I think the sun says that she's watching you. And the bouquet is just a beautiful card. You know, be aware of your gifts. Don't be the one to say, oh, I'm not good at that. Let somebody else tell you that. Why would you tell it yourself? Why would you say that yourself about yourself? No. And again, remember who you are and what you came here to do and whose shoulders you stand on. Vibrant thing. Okay, vibrant thing. I like that. Can I get insight into my career? Things have been a little rocky. I'm a social worker. All right. So there is a card for career, and the card is the moon. So I think I'll look for the moon. I'm just going to take my time here so that I can get good answers. All right. So let's look at your career, which is as a social worker. And God knows we need those. Okay, so this stands for your career. So I see why you would ask the question. The cards make that clear. So we have the house, the clouds, the moon, the tree, and crossroads. So, you know, this is sort of, you see yourself as a helper, as somebody who helps people with their issues. You know, social workers help people with their personal stuff, the problems that people have. But I see that we have clouds here, and I don't know, it could be that you have doubts about whether or not this is still the career path for you, because I'm sure there's a lot of bureaucracy, and it's probably quite a difficult career path to be following now. You're thinking about whether this should be your career path for the long haul, because this is like the long haul. And the cards are saying, maybe it's time to course correct. And the suggestion is, if there's something else that you're interested in, stick your toe in that water to the extent that you can maybe do it as a side gig. And if you love it, then you can switch all the way over to that lane. But this is a card of sort of following two paths at once, and then in the end deciding which one makes the most sense. So you may very well veer away from social work to something else. But, you know, I mean, everybody's mother used to tell them, don't quit a job before you have another job lined up. So, you know, think of your social work job as the thing that's keeping the roof over your head and paying your bills, while you follow something that maybe is a passion of yours that you haven't thought you could turn into a career path, because I think you probably could. And it looks like you may very well change careers moving forward. Chris Ann, will my son get a new fulfilling job soon, one that he loves? Thank you. Will your son get a job that he loves? There's a card for job, and that is the fox. And we are asking about your son and whether he will get a job that he likes. The job market's tough nowadays, apparently. I mean, fortunately, I'm retired, but I hear it's rough out there. Okay, let's see. So we're going to look for the fox. Will your son find a fulfilling job soon? Okay, so this is a potential job. Well, I'm not always this sort of unequivocally positive, but I mean, the cards are not necessarily always so unequivocally positive. We have clover, heart, fox, bouquet, and letter. So yes, I think actually, I think he will find a job that he loves. I think it'll come sort of out of the blue, you know. I think that the offer will come out of the blue because that's the letter. I can mirror these two cards. Something that he loves, and also I'm not sure, but it's not something that is related to the arts. So it's either in the arts or related to the arts. But yes, I do think that he will get a job offer for a job that he loves, and I do think it'll be soon. Okay. Ellie Ross, will my daughter get her life back on track? Will my daughter get her life back on track? Lives go on track, then they go off track, then they go on track. So, she may veer back and forth, being off and on the track moving forward, but I will see. Yes. Stork, positive change. The key is the yes card. And then just, love her through this difficult season that she's experiencing. Things will get better. If you know tarot at all, in the tarot, there is a card called the Wheel of Fortune. And I like that card because it reminds us that what goes up comes down, but also what is down goes back up. So yes, her life will improve. Daydreamer 777, is Obama working with Carney behind the scenes? Well, working on what behind the scenes? He went to see him. He is a former president. Carney is the prime minister. I'm sure they're talking about things. But I also know that in the right-wing circles, there is the accusation that he is plotting for some kind of coup against the felon, and with Carney. That's ridiculous, by the way. Is he working behind the scenes? I mean, yeah, of course he is. Why do I say of course? Because he went there. He's met with Carney. It's obviously behind the scenes because he is not an official of the felon's government. Because, I mean, can you imagine? So if you want to ask me something more specific about that, feel free, put it in the feed. But of course, they are meeting. He went there. They talked. I mean, of course, yes. Okay. I can't do when questions. When will I move overseas? Because you and I, the question that you're asking is the kind of time that you and I live in, which is time on the calendar, time on the clock, time on the watch. And the cards really deal with the fullness of time. So it includes the past, the present, and future, and everything else in between. And so they're kind of inexact when it comes to timing. I can look and see whether there will be a move for you overseas. Why don't I do that? Will there be a move for you overseas? This is for Dilly 5898. Or delay, however you want to pronounce that. I'm going to look for the ship because that will be for a move. So we have the woman, the tower, the ship, the other woman, and we have the star. And I think the star is the important card because I don't think it will be soon, but I do think that it will happen in the future. So, I mean, you're the one who gets to decide whether it's soon or not, right? Make a plan, set a date, and then walk towards it. That's how energy works. Okay. Okay, here's one. Elovar. Will my adult special needs daughter ever be independent, self-sufficient? Okay. Because she's a daughter, I'm going to use the younger woman card. And see what we get. Okay, this stands for your daughter. So we have the fish, we have the lily, we have your daughter, we have the snake, and we have the mountain. This looks quite difficult with the snake and the mountain. I think living independently and being totally self-sufficient looks really tough. So it looks like, you know, she'll have to be in some sort of more sheltered of a situation. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry about that. I know that's not what you want to hear, but it looks like she will always need that kind of support. Okay. Now it looks like is that all the questions? I'm surprised. Oh no, I hit the wrong thing. Okay. Will the hearing? Okay, this is Maglosia Odman. Hello, Erica. Will the hearing for my SSI benefits go well? Okay, let's look. Will the hearing for my SSI benefits go well? I thought I had gotten to the end of the questions, and I'm like, really? All right, so I see there are plenty more. Will the hearing for my SSI benefits go well? Oh, sorry, I forgot to. Okay, we have the stork, the key, and the crossroads. Yes, the hearing will go well. Stork is about positive change. The key is a yes card, and you will then have this, this alternate source of income through these benefits. So yes, I think you will get your benefits. I think the hearing will go fine. Fran, will I get a job that's my passion? I would love to work with heart devices again. Interesting. So let's see. I think, you know what? I think I'm going to, instead of looking for job or passion, or I'm going to use the heart, and it will stand for these heart devices that you want to work with. So let's just see if you will work with heart devices. Okay. Okay, this is your work with heart devices. We have the key, the ship, working with heart devices, you, and the tower. Yes, I think you will. Obviously, you'll be working with a company, obviously, because, or hospitals or whatever, but these two cards, I can mirror them, and this is always a yes card. Here you are moving forward towards that dream, that passion. So the answer to that is yes. So that's good news. Okay, hold on. I'm just going to shuffle the cards back in. Okay. Cherie D, will the tech bros be able to build the huge data center planned for the Salt Lake area and elsewhere? Terrible environmental costs. Yes, these data centers, apparently they take up a lot of water. And I heard the dumbest thing. So the community, of course, complained at the water that was going to be used for these centers. And here was the government response. We'll only use it after midnight. What? What are you talking about? The issue was the vast amount of water resources that this thing would require. It doesn't matter what time of day they use it, the water. It's the fact that the water is being used. We have idiots at the head of government. Will they be able to build this data center? Let's see. Crossroads, Clover, Garden, Tower, Fish. Tower and Fish is all about money, and God knows they've got the money. But this is also water. Fish is water resources. I think what's interesting to me is the card in the middle, which is the garden. And this speaks to the need for activism on a grand scale. People have to protest this. We can't just hope that they'll go away. And I know people have been out protesting. That needs to continue. Because what will happen is that I think they'll have to find some sort of alternative place to go. But only if there's enough protest to make their lives miserable. Okay, well, how many times am I going to see that question? I answered it already. I answered the SSI question already, so please don't put your question in twice. It's not fair to other people at all. Okay, this is Lisa Merrill. My mother died 47 years ago. Is she watching over me? I was only 10 when she passed. Miss her so much. Oh, that's tough. Okay, so again, this is like a mediumship. Well, it is a mediumship question. The card for mother is Bear. And so I'm going to look and see if your mother is watching over you. And the bear is at the bottom of the deck, which means it's going to be the last card in the line. So let's see what the other cards are. So that's your mom. Oh, these are just so nice. The answer is yes. She is watching over you. And always wanting better and better and better for you. She's been watching over you since you were a child, and here she is. So the mother and child cards are together, which is very nice. So yes, 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 she is watching over you, always wanting better for you than maybe even you want for yourself. She is watching over you, and that's a big yes with that key. Yeah, really nice cards, really clear message, and she came right through. So that's your answer. Yes, she's just a thought away. So, which is to say, when you think of her, poof, she's right. She's there in an instant. This is Judy Dubio. I'm contemplating a move to California. I'm telling you what, I love California. I love living here. I lived on the East Coast for more than half a century, and I wish I had found California sooner. I'm contemplating a move to California. I'm concerned about the higher cost of living. What do the cards say? And yes, the cost of living is high. Okay, let's see. Okay, so interesting. We have the snake, we have the woman, we have the anchor, the cross, and the sun. I think that, it's interesting. The sun, people will say, oh, that's the best card in the deck. But, the sun can burn, right? The sun can be too hot. This is talking about that cost of living issue. If you think the utility bills in the East are bad, oh my God. San Diego? So yeah, the cost of living is something that you have to really be aware of. It's not all sunshine and roses because of that. This is you. And we have the anchor, and the anchor is making me think that you will stay put for the time being. I know that that's not what you want to do, that feels like a sacrifice to you because you want to be in California, but you also want to be aware, yes, of that cost of living factor. It might, at this time, for the foreseeable future, for you, be prohibitive. The cost may be prohibitive. Doesn't mean that you'll never do it. It just means that make a plan, because, yeah, the cost of living here is high. I don't understand this question, so I can't answer it. Is my career opening up? I don't know what that means. So if you can put it differently. Yolanda, do you see me moving to a different home in the near future? Is there a move coming for you? We will look for the ship, and that will stand for a move. And then after this, I'll do maybe 3 more because we have already reached the end of the hour. So I'm going to look for a ship for you, Yolanda. Okay, we have crossroads, we have bear, we have ship, birds, and lily. So what I think is that you have options as to where you go. I think you're also in a pretty good financial position to go. And that what you really want to take into account is, let's see, you want to be happy wherever it is. You want to feel settled. And so really put your feelers out and talk to people, because like I said, I feel like you're looking at a bunch of different options of where to go. So I would sort of crowdsource this and ask people, you live in so and so, or your brother lives in so and so. Tell me what you think of it, or he thinks of it. Get advice for people, because when you land, you really want to feel like you've landed in the exact right place. And right now, I feel like you're not really sure, should it be this place or this place or this place. So I would get take the temperature of different people who live in different places, so that you can make a really good informed decision where you'll be really happy and comfortable. But yes, a move is coming for you. Okay, I said 3 more. Okay. Thank you. Okay, Yogini 347, happy Mother's Day all. Any messages for me from my mother and or her mother in spirit? Well, I'm not going to be able to tell which one it is, but I will just ask if there is a message for you from a mother figure in spirit. So of course, we're looking again for the bear, and that will stand for a mother figure for you. And this is for Yogini 347. Okay. So remember, we're looking for the bear, and we're asking that a mother figure in spirit comes in for you. So we have the rider, we have the coffin, we have the bear, we have the star, and we have the house. Okay, you're going to think this is a weird message, probably, because it kind of is. So there is a message, and this is the rider is a message. And the message is that they wait for you, but that you won't be with them in spirit for a really long time. You have a long, long life left to live. And that when it is time, you will feel like you're going home. So I don't know, in case you were worried of whether you were going to, be joining them anytime soon, you're not. You have a lot more life to live, but that when the time comes, you will feel like you're going home. That's a nice message, I think. Okay. 2 more, right? Okay. This is for Grace 43054. Happy Mother's Day, Erica. My question: once both my girls are in college, will I end up moving from Washington? Well, I don't know. You tell me. I think it's so important when we ask questions to remind ourselves that we're the boss of us. We are the bosses of us. So we have a lot more authority and say in our lives than we sometimes give ourselves credit for. So, do you want to move from Washington? The question is phrased in such a way as though I feel like you're like a puppet on a string, and that fate will move you or not, depending on what fate wants to do. And that's not actually how things work. I mean, they can if you're not involved in your own decision making in your life. So let's see. Will you end up moving away from Washington when your girls are in college? All right. Again, we're going to use the ship for a move. Okay, so we have the heart, the fish, the ship, the anchor, and the scales. Interesting cards because heart and fish are both very emotional cards. And I don't know from your situation whether you really love where you are or whether you have a love of somewhere else that you want to go. But this, this speaks to the fact that there's some sort of urge either to stay or to go. You need to pay attention to that and then, do whatever that urge tells you to do. Here's a potential move. But look what we have. We have the anchor. Now, I always find it interesting when certain cards come together, like the dog and the fox. When they come together, it's interesting. It's also interesting when the ship and the anchor come together because obviously these cards are related, correct? Ships have anchors. The thing is, if this is movement, like a move, but then it's followed by the anchor, this looks like you not moving, staying at anchor, staying where you are, and taking the time to really do an assessment, a cost-benefit analysis about where it is you're thinking about going and why. And again, I think the universe is kind of agreeing with what I said, which is you're in charge of this decision. If there's some place that you would love to go, then do that. But don't wait for the universe to come and give you a kick in the butt, because that's actually never that pleasant. So I think that when they are in college, you will still stay where you are as you do this cost-benefit analysis, but that eventually you will end up exactly in the place that you would love to be, whether that is Washington or somewhere else. I hope that was a helpful answer. Okay, I'm going to do one more. Okay. Okay, Teresa, Idaho, beer lady. Do you see me moving to Las Vegas to help my daughter take care of my grandchildren? Okay, let's look. I mean, again, I suspect you have some thoughts about that, some feelings about that one way or the other. So don't let the universe drag you around by the nose if you have some an opinion, right? But let's just look. So we're going to look for, again, the ship. But this time it's you moving to Las Vegas to help your granddaughter with the grandchildren. Will you be doing that? Okay, so we have the young woman, we have crossroads, we have ship, we have coffin, and we have stork. This is really an interesting reading. Well, I'll tell you what I did in a second. So I feel like this is your daughter. These are the options that you have, right? To stay where you are or to go help her. Here's the move. Coffin is really an interesting card because here it's the card for transformation. So I suspect that yes, you will go and that it will be a really good shift. Listen, I think everybody should live together in big family units. My family's thinking of coming out here to California to live. And because I have this new grandson and they're thinking about it. I think, yes, I like that with the stork. But then when I saw the coffin, because, nobody likes a coffin, and sometimes a coffin is a coffin, but I wanted to see what that was about. So I drew 3 clarifiers and I got the ring, the house, and the clover. I think this will be a really transformational move for you in a really good way. I think, it'll be a big commitment on your part, but I think everybody I think they'll love it. I think they'll love it. So yeah, I think that's what will happen. So I saw somebody comment that they didn't get a notification. I don't know. I put it up. I put the notice up that I was going to be doing this yesterday. So, and I announced it on my video. So if you didn't get a notification, I don't know what to tell you about that. Sorry. Thank you, though, for spending a little bit of your Mother's Day with me. I hope it was helpful. You can contact me if you'd like a private reading. The prices are in the link on my videos. Just you have to send me an email and then we arrange it. I'm kind of booked out, but I can take readings in June and July. What else? I'll be here tomorrow doing my regular thing. And please do share my channel with others if it's something that is helpful to you, if it brings you any kind of information, comfort, entertainment. Please do share, like, subscribe. I read every comment that I get, and I am very appreciative. I had a comment the other day where a woman said that she was offended, that she watched me all the time, but she found me that she was offended, so she was leaving. Not sure why she had to announce it. I didn't say anything to her, but several of you did, and she was not too pleasant, so I had to, in response, so I had to do the bibbidi bobbidi boo. We have a great community here. You are all lovely people, and I am grateful that I have found you and that you have found me, and I will do this again, as I said, when I reach 40,000 subscribers. So just spread the word, and the sooner we get there, the sooner we can do this again, maybe for a longer period of time than just an hour, or an hour and 15 minutes is what it's been now. But thank you all so much, and I will see you soon. Take care.